Okay, guys, so it's 12 minutes to noon on Saturday, March 21st. I did get tickets for Shrek. I don't know where the theater is, though, so I'm parked in what's hopefully a free parking lot, and I think I'm within a block or so of it. So I'm gonna try to find it. It's on the second floor of some building, so wish me luck. Hi, guys, future Sam Tom here. So I wanted to pop in and say up top that the Fox Youth stage, we're chill, okay? Some weird stuff happened, but I contacted them and they explained everything. We're all good. I am going to still keep the footage that I took before I contacted them, though, and some of it might come off as a little harsh. So I wanted to pop in here early and say I'm cool with there's an explanation for everything, but since I'm kind of jumping around the timeline, I'm gonna make it easy on you. If the clip has me wearing gray flannel, that is before I actually contacted the Fox Youth stage. So there's a lot of that, including a song, and I'm gonna keep all that in, even though I get a little frustrated and flustered, and I don't think I'd say anything too mean to the Fox Youth stage, but I was very upset in the moment. So anything with me wearing red is after I've contacted them and the situation has been explained, and we're good to go. And then after I see the show, Shrek the Musical Jr., I will be wearing blue flannel for my post-show segment. Okay, so anything in gray, take it with a grain of salt. That's before I reached out to them. Anything in red is after I communicated with them, but before I saw the show. And then blue is I wish I had green because it's Shrek, but I don't. These are the only colors of flannel that I have. So stay tuned because there's a lot of twists and turns. I think it's a pretty entertaining story. That's why I'm going to still keep it all in. But I just wanted to, like I said, stay up top. As of now, I'm cool with the Fox Youth stage, so I don't want anyone saying that I'm bad talking them, because I'm not. Okay, guys, I got some kind of Twilight Zone conspiracy theory something going on. So this Shrek show that I was hoping to get to between Dorothy in Wonderland and Alice in Wonderland, these three theaters that are 5 minutes from each other, I had been looking for tickets for Shrek all week, and they were pretty much sold out. The only tickets available for either the 12 o'clock noon or I think there was a later time. I don't know if it was 7 or some other time, but there were 2 showings today, and the only tickets still left on the seating chart when you went to order tickets were the accessible seats. And I didn't want to buy that because I don't need that, so I wanted to save that for someone that needed it. And also, I wasn't sure that my 10 o'clock show was going to get out in time for me to get to the other theater by noon, even though it was close. I'm like, if it's a 2-hour show, I might not get there in time. So my plan was to just wait and go to the theater if my 10 o'clock show got out at like 11:30 or whatever, to go to the theater that Shrek was at, and just ask them if they had any cancellations or any no-shows, or try to get a ticket that way. But I happened to look when I got to my 10 o'clock show. I got there early, so I happened to check then, and there were several seats that were available, which looking back now seems suspicious, but at the time I thought maybe there was just some groups that canceled, they couldn't make it or whatever. And so I had chosen a ticket, or chosen a seat, paid for the ticket. Part of me, like, there wasn't any great seats, and because I wasn't sure I was going to get there in time, I didn't want to have to walk past people after the show had started. So part of me still wanted to wait until I actually got there to just get a ticket there, which is what I should have done. But I got selfish, and then I picked the best of the available seats left, and I was just like, hopefully I get there in time, right? And I was like, if I need to leave here a little bit early, I can maybe do that if I decide I want to do that. So I ordered the ticket, and the 10 o'clock show ended at like 11:30ish or whatever, plenty of time. So I drove down. It took me a while to find the Steel Beam Theater, because it's marked, the sign is up high, the theater's on the second floor. I was looking at the ground level. So I drove around the block, found a place to park, and I still hadn't found the actual theater yet, but I got out and I just started walking. Saw the sign, went up to the door. There were multiple doors all marked for the same address. And this theater, it's very confusing because sometimes they refer to it as the Steel Beam and sometimes they refer to it as the Fox Youth Stage. And I don't know if those are just like the same thing, or if one is the building and one is the auditorium, or one is the stage itself, or if they're different companies that share the venue. But across their websites and the Facebook pages, like, they all have the same address. And they're showing the same show information. So it's very confusing. But I'm there at the front door, and there's a sign on one of the doors that are all marked to the same address that says the entrance is in the rear through a courtyard. Annoying, but okay, I still got like 10 minutes left at this point. It's 10 to noon. So I walk around the block to the back courtyard, and there's another sign that says Steel Beam Theater and a big staircase up to the second floor. Okay. Go up the staircase. There's a door there that says Steel Beam Theater on it. Locked. And then there's another couple steps up to this other deck area. But that one says stage door. So I'm like, well, I don't want to go through this, right? Like, but maybe that's just what it is for the show or whatever. That door is locked also. So I go back down to the ground level. I'm looking around for another entrance. I not see anything. I go back up again, and the door is glass. So I kind of look to see if I can see anybody inside to help me out. No people in sight. But there's a Shrek prop. There's the sign from his swamp that's like, danger, ogre, go away, or something like that. So I'm like, so I'm in the right spot. Whatever this Steel Beam Fox Youth Stage weird, confusing mess is, this feels like the right spot because this is where my ticket said to go. This is where the website said to go. This is where the Facebook said to go. And there's Shrek stuff inside there. And I double checked the date and I double checked the time. And there's nobody in there that I can see, and the doors are locked. And so I went down, and there's a couple people walking around, and I kind of asked if they knew anything, and they kind of just ignored me and shook their head and walked away. So I don't know what's going on. So I just came down to the marquee stage, because that's where my next show is. I was like, maybe there's a chance that they're doing that here for some reason. But, like, again, I went onto their website. I didn't see anything about them not using that stage. I went on the Facebook. I even went on their Instagram to see if there was some kind of announcement. I couldn't find anything. Everything that I can see had that address, which had the signs for that theater and the Shrek prop inside. So I don't know what's going on. I'm upset because I'm out $20. If I would have just waited and tried to get a ticket there, like I planned, like, I still wouldn't have been able to see it, but at least I wouldn't have been out $20. So I'm pretty upset. And, you know, they say right on the ticket page that, like, all sales are final, but I'm like, something's going on. So I don't know if it's worth asking for a refund or not. And if I email them and they get back to me, even if they don't refund me, I'm like, if I really wanted to see the show, I suppose I could come back tomorrow, but this is a long drive. So the whole point of this weekend was to get multiple shows that are all right close to each other to make the drive more worth it. And I'm still getting 2, so that's not too bad, but it's frustrating. And I don't know. And I'm going to have to contact them in some form, because if there's another show that comes up from them, I'm not going to want to buy a ticket or make the drive up to the box office if I don't know what's going on. So I've got to figure out how I want to handle that. So I'm kind of in a grumpy mood. Luckily, the Dorothy in Wonderland, that was, that was a cute kid show. It was pretty much what you would expect from the title. And now I'm here to see Alice. So more Wonderland characters. So hopefully that'll be fine. And there is still a third show I can make tonight. It's just going to be a lot more driving. It won't be that much worse. Like the last show is close to my house, so it's not like it's going to be a super late night. It's just, it's a long drive home from where I'm at now. It's a slightly longer drive to the school that's doing this other play. They're doing The Sound of Music. And it just, The Sound of Music doesn't quite fit the theme of the day. Oz, Wonderland, and Shrek. Like, not that they're all related, but they're all kind of, children's animated, fairy tale-ish. Like, that would have been a cool trio of shows. And I could have still gone to The Sound of Music after and done 4 shows in one day, which would have been cool. So I'll probably still go do that to get 3 in one day, because that was a weird personal goal that I had today. I wanted to see the Shrek show, but I'm like, honestly, even if it wasn't Shrek, if there was a way I could get 3 in a day pretty easily, I would have done it, just to be able to say that I did that, because that was cool. So we'll see how I feel at the end of this Alice show. I think even with the drive, I'm going to have some extra time. I'll have plenty of time. So it's not like I'll be in a rush. It's just annoying and confusing more than anything else. Because even if I had been late, I would have been like, well, maybe they're just really strict on people coming in late. But I wasn't late. I was there before noon, even on the back door, up on the balcony. So if anyone is familiar with the Fox East stage or the Steel Beam Theater, on their Instagram, they had pictures from yesterday, or not, maybe not the pictures. They had a post from yesterday with pictures of the Shrek cast saying that it was a good show. And there was only one comment that was like, great show. There wasn't anything about, I couldn't find it. So it's very possible that I'm the idiot here, but I've seen 30 shows this year, and this is the only one that I can't find where the show was. So, and again, I looked to see if maybe that performance got canceled, if there was a sickness or something. I couldn't find anything public. And I didn't see anybody else around trying to get in. So, I don't know. My phone's overheating. I gotta stop this. Okay, guys. It is now Monday. There's been no resolution to this. I haven't contacted the company yet. I will. But, man, this weekend just kicked my butt. And, I did see the 3 shows on Saturday, and then I got to Sunday, and I had three choices. I couldn't make all 3, but I had 3 choices that I could have gone to. I could have gone to Steel Magnolias in Morris. I wasn't super hyped to see that show, and there's another show at that theater later this year called Leaving Iowa that I think I would enjoy more. So I decided not to go to that one. I'll get there later. And also, Steel Magnolias is the only show on the list so far for the theater in Pekin. So I figure I might check that out. And then that way I don't have to see that show twice. There was a Gilligan's Island musical in Rochelle, which I was really interested in. It's like one of those things I'm like, this could be horrible or it could be amazingly funny. But the theater there, the seating is all at tables. And it was pretty full. And I was just like, I don't really want to sit at a table with 5 or 6 or 7 other strangers. So I might try to get to that theater again when it's a show that maybe is more appealing to more people, and I might try to get a group to go. And then the third option was at a school that is like 10 minutes away from me. They did Into the Woods, and I had planned on going to that because it was so close, but it was getting time to go, and I just was not motivated to go. I've seen Into the Woods before, and I figure with that school being so close, I might not get another chance this year, but like I'll have other chances to see stuff there. So Saturday kind of beat me down, and I didn't do anything Sunday. So I still don't know what happened with the Shrek thing. I did find some information that said that the Fox Youth Stage entity is the new current entity that is running the productions at the building, the Steel Beam Theater, which used to be kind of its own entity. So that, it's still kind of confusing, but it's just like old ownership or leadership or whatever merging to new, and just the signage and stuff hasn't caught up with it. I don't know if they're planning on changing it or not, but like that's why all that's weird, which just confirms to me that, again, I was in the right place. But I don't know what happened. I've been defeated, but to try and make a positive out of this situation, I've written a little song about this experience. Between Dorothy and Alice, I went to see you. Pulled up to the spot, 12 minutes to noon. Walked around the corner, the door locked in my face. Hey. Sign told me to go, enter from rear. Walked around the corner, climbed up the stair. 2 more doors, but I met with the same fate. And another lie, I could be your man. Watch you fight the dragon just to get back your swampland. And another lie, I would watch your play, so I don't have to say you were the one that got away. The Shrek that got away. And another lie, I would be your man. Watch you take down Farquaad and win Princess Fiona's hand. And another lie, I would watch your play, so I don't have to say you were the one that got away. The Shrek that got away. Okay, so here's the situation. One of my theories as to what was going on, why there was no one there at the time of the show, was that there had been an illness in the cast, and they had postponed the show till another time. And the Fox Youth Stage has confirmed that that is what happened. So I got very confused. I don't know if I've recorded this segment yet. It's Monday. So I went there Saturday. Sunday was shot. I was just recovering Sunday. On Monday, I had actually taken all the clips that I made and I posted them to TikTok. So some of you may have already seen parts of this. I took it down, but it was up for a little bit. And I had tagged the Fox Youth Stage on TikTok in the comments. Just be like, hey man, what's up? But after I tagged them, I was like, I better just make sure. And so I went and I checked my ticket again. And the date on the ticket was March 28th, not March 21st. Still for noon, but a week later. Now, I will say, this is the one part of the mystery that I haven't solved yet. And honestly, I don't care to, because I think this part of the mystery is fine. This ticket, this was not a print at home ticket or something where the ticket was in the email or it was like an image or a PDF or something. It was a digital ticket. And in the email, there was just a button that you press to then access your ticket from the ticketing website. So I am going to maintain for my own sanity that in the moment when I was checking it on the 21st, it may have still said 21st because I did check multiple times, although I was more focused on the time of 12 o'clock noon. But I feel like I checked the date also. So I am going to assume that at that time, that digital ticket said March 21st, which is why I was so confused. And then later it was updated to March 28th. Now, when I saw on Monday that it was for March 28th, that made sense as to why nothing was there. Well, I was still confused. I was going to say it made sense as to why no one was there that day, but I was still confused because the show, the dates on the Facebook page, because like I tried going back to the ticketing website, but all the old shows were gone. You couldn't see the old dates. But on the Facebook page, the cover photo said that it only ran through the 22nd, 13th through 15th, and 20th through 22nd. So I was like, they weren't scheduled to have this show. So I was just like, did they add one because it was so well received? Was it moved back? But I was like, if they added one, there still should have been people there, but there weren't any people there. So it must have been an illness. But if they postponed it, you'd think that they would have put something on social media to let people know that, right? So the actual explanation that I got from the Fox Youth stage, I sent them a very long email basically saying everything that was in the earlier clips of this video. It was very long. And I tried keeping a good tone throughout it so that they didn't think I was just ranting. Because I was like, I just want to know what happened, right? Because if there's another show at this theater that I want to go to, I want to make sure that I know what's going on. So they replied, and they said, yes, there was an illness in the cast, so they pushed the second weekend back. So the first weekend happened normally. That's why that was posted about on Instagram. And the second weekend was supposed to happen that weekend, but it got postponed. That decision was made on Friday. And on Friday, they sent an email to everyone that had already purchased tickets telling those people that the show got pushed back. And telling them that all of their tickets were automatically going to be updated for the following weekend. But if they couldn't make that show, they could cancel for a refund. So that's why, though I had been checking all week and the tickets were sold out, when I checked the Saturday morning, some tickets had become available. That's why, because Friday, I don't know what time Friday, but sometime on Friday, they alerted people to the fact that it was getting moved back. And there were some people that canceled and got a refund because they couldn't go on Saturday. That's why suddenly there were so many tickets available. Now, again, I have no way of knowing or showing or proving when I clicked to buy a ticket if the date in the system still said the 21st and hadn't been updated yet, as my brain thinks it did, or if it had been updated already to the 28th and my brain just didn't notice that because it wouldn't be looking for that because the show wasn't supposed to play that weekend, including the 28th. So, like I said, that mystery, I think it's fun to leave unsolved. We can say for the Fox Youth stage's sake that it was updated and I just didn't notice, and I can say for my sake that it wasn't updated yet and it just got updated after the fact. It doesn't matter. The point is, they explained the situation, and they told me also that like we get that this is confusing, so like if you want a refund too, we'll give you a refund. So they weren't difficult about that. I just responded to them, making sure that I didn't somehow glitch my way into a ticket that was supposed to go to somebody else. They assured me that that is not the case. So my ticket is truly my ticket. So that's what happened. They were very. It seemed like they got the vibe that I was going for in my email. It seemed like they appreciated the ridiculousness of it all, and we had a little bit of a back and forth. So, I'm recording this segment on Wednesday, March 25th. And so as of now, I have a ticket to see Shrek Saturday the 28th instead of the 21st. Am I a little bit upset that I didn't get my 3 shows in a row, bing, bang, boom, that are all right there, 10 minutes from each other, within 3 hours, making the most out of the gas and the trip up, the hour and a half drive up? Sure. But man, this is a heck of a story, and I'm not going to not go see the show after all of this. So, I've got my ticket for Saturday the 28th. I plan on going and seeing it on the 28th, and then I will make my normal post show video segment after that. So this is going to be probably the longest show video that I've ever done, but there's a lot to this story, and like I said, I find it entertaining. Hopefully, if you've been watching for this long, you're finding it entertaining also. But I just wanted to, for those of you that wanted to come on this journey with me, I wanted to give you that chance. So now coming into Saturday, I know where I'm going. I'm still not 100% sure of which door to use, but I'm going to assume it's the door in the back at the top of the stairs on the little deck, but not the one that says stage door. That's where I'm going to go first. But I'm going to try to get there early. And yeah, we'll see how that goes, and hopefully I have only pleasant things to say about that experience, and I don't go back into another rant. But again, just want to reiterate, once I actually reached out to the Fox Youth stage, they were chill, they were cool, they were helpful, they were only positive things. So that's where we're at now, and I'll check back in on Saturday. Okay, guys, the day has come. I am back in St. Charles, Illinois at the Steel Beam Theater. Almost forgot to wear the red flannel. That would have been problematic. But I remembered, we're here. I got here way early. Show starts at noon. It's 10 minutes to 11. I didn't want to have to try to find a parking spot when there's actually a show going on. So I wanted to get to the spot that I already knew I could park at. It didn't have a limit. So I'm wishing I would have brought a book to read for the next 40 minutes or so. But I'm here, just going to relax for a bit, head to that back courtyard, and head up those stairs. And, at this point, getting in the building is the goal. And I hope the show's good, but even if it's not, this whole adventure has been quite interesting. Also, filled up for less than $4 a gallon today. $4.85, I think. Or $3.85, excuse me. So, I hate that that's exciting, but that was exciting. Yeah, gonna wait around for Shrek. I might hit a second show tonight. I don't know. We'll see how the day goes. I got a lot of time until then to make that decision, but getting ready for Shrek now. Alright, I'm sitting in this little plaza right across from the theater, and I just saw people go through that door. Someone coming out, I don't want to film them, but door's unlocked. Okay, so as I was filming that, they came out of the one main door that they had gone into and tried going up to the stage door, and that one was locked, so they went back in the main door. So I don't know if they're looking for someone or what's going on. It's still early, it's only 11 o'clock. But it's kind of chilly out. It's in the 30s. I didn't want to just wait in my van the whole time, but I forgot how cold it was. So I'm here in this little plaza, but it's kind of cold and a little windy. We finally made it. We finally get to talk about Shrek the Musical Jr. Musical coming up. I'm glad that now I know I can get into this theater because that's the show I'm interested in. All good things must come to an end, and so today we find ourselves at the end of the Shrek saga. We're past the gray phase. We're past the red phase. We're to the blue phase. Quick side note. As I record this, yesterday was World Theater Day, which is not something that I knew that was a thing until I happened to see it on Google yesterday. Is the Google Doodle still a thing? Because I saw a little thing about it, about World Theater Day, and then I went to Google to see what the doodle, and there was no doodle. And then I tried searching Google Doodle, and then it would just took me to an archive. Is that not a thing anymore? How do I anyway? I was not able to see a show on World Theater Day because my band and choir students were performing for their solo and ensemble contest, which they did pretty well on, and more importantly to me, everybody showed up and everybody performed all their pieces. So no show for me on World Theater Day itself, but thanks to the Shrek saga, I've had a theater experience that has lasted a week, with Theater Day falling within that week. So, as I mentioned before, what happened in the show was almost a secondary element to this story at this point. And I was, I try to stay mostly positive in these things, but I was kind of wondering, because this theater, the Steel Beam Theater, or the Fox Youth Stage, is within 5 minutes of both Playhouse 38 and the Marquee Youth Stage, both of which I've been to multiple times. So I was kind of just I wonder where this is going to fall. Because both shows I've seen at Playhouse 38, I've thought were really well done, really well acted. Matilda had good accents, good choreography, really good stage management. Dorothy in Wonderland, the main cast were all really good in that. So, I have really positive associations with that theater. The Marquee Youth Stage, Peter Pan was a little weak, but it was young actors, so that made sense. Anastasia was fantastic. One of the best shows I've seen this year. And Alice in Wonderland was pretty good. So I've got mixed to high opinions of the shows at that theater. So I was just how is Shrek going to fit in here? I don't know. And I'll just say this. Some of the performances were stronger than some of the others, but not necessarily the ones that you would think. But I thought the ensemble did really well. Unfortunately, my seat was, while in a good position for comfort, get down, get off, get down, get down. Hey, midnight, get down. Get down. It's a pillow. It's not going to hurt her. Get down. It didn't help. I hit her right in the button. It didn't help. Okay, now she's down. Lost my train of thought. I was on an edge, which I like to be, so I had elbow room, although it was kind of slanted, so I kept bumping into this wall decoration, like a metal wall decoration that kept going. And I had lots of leg room, but I was very far past the edge of the stage, and so there was, I don't know how much, because I couldn't see it, but I know there was quite a bit that I was unable to see. There were characters that I was sometimes unable to see. There were, some parts of choreography that I was unable to see, and I know there was at least one visual joke with Lord Farquaad that I was unable to see because I heard the audience reacting to it, but I could not see what they were reacting to. So, part of that's my fault, but I'm on the edge a lot, and I've never had that much of a show obviously missing before. So I'll have to keep that in mind if I go back to get somewhere. I don't like to sit in the middle. I like to have at least one side where I can spread out. I'm a big guy. But I wonder if, because the row that I sat in was kind of off center, so I wonder if the other edge of that would be far enough to the left to see everything. So I guess I'll try and get that seat next time I'm there. But that aside, I wouldn't say that was a huge issue. Just, again, making notes to my future self. Um, the show was really good. I meant to grab it to show as a prop, but I don't, or I didn't, I forgot. I've got like a Shrek, what do they call them? It's like a DVD, a box set. That's the word I'm looking for. It's got, excuse me, it's got, as of now, I want to say 5 Shrek movies. Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, Shrek Goes Forth, Puss in Boots, I think. Doesn't have the second one on there. That movie wasn't out yet when I got it. But it's got a filmed professional production of Shrek the Musical on it. So I've seen that before. So I kind of had an idea of what I was getting into. Obviously, seeing a children's theater version versus a professional theater version and it being a junior version, I knew there were going to be differences. It's pretty similar though. But I knew going into it that my favorite song of that version was, I think it's called I Know It's Today. It's Fiona's song. Early in the show, and there's 3 different actresses that play Fiona at 3 different ages as she grows up in the tower. And I loved that song. I thought the emotion is really strong. The storytelling and the character development that happens in it is, I mean, it's straightforward, but it's not something you really get in the movie. And the music is fantastic. The harmonies are really good. A lot of the songs in this show don't have a lot of harmonies. And like sometimes there's like 2 songs going on at once, but like this is one of the few where there's like real 3-part harmony, and it was really good in that DVD version that I've watched. So I was looking forward to it for this, but I was just like, I don't know if these kids are gonna handle it. Man, they did great. I had tears in my eyes. It was so good. And then it comes back later, mixed in with, I want to say it's like Shrek's origin song. And just hearing it again, I got goosebumps. So loved that. Like I said, the ensemble did really, really well. I got there very early, and I was hoping to sit in the plaza for a while and just kind of pretend, not pretend, but like see what it's like to just live in a place where you can just sit in the plaza for a while. But it was cold, so I went inside the lobby, and you could hear the kids like getting ready for the show and goofing off, and they're quoting the lines and they're singing the songs and all this. And like it seemed like all the kids were having a really good time, which is good, you know. Sometimes it seems like it's a forgotten part of this kind of stuff, but like you want the kids to be having a good time. Do I remember anything else that stuck out to me? I mean, the Lord Farquaad, when I watched my DVD version of it, and I think a lot of it had to do with the editing, but like it took me a while to really feel confident about what was going on with that. So like obviously a live production with children, it's not quite as polished, but they lean into the comedy of it, and that went over really well. People were laughing at that a lot. That for my performance, it was an actress playing that part. She did really well. There are, like with the other children's theaters up there, there's multiple casts. So, man, talk about being spoiled. 3 children's theaters that I know of, very closely related, all regularly doing shows with multiple casts. Like, there's so much opportunity up there. There's one kid, they've got like the cast biographies, which I don't normally look through because I don't know the kids, but there's not a lot else in this program. There's not like a synopsis or a director's note or anything. And like I said, I was very early. So I happened to see that there's a kid. I'm not going to be able to find it now, but like one of them is in like her 34th show or something like that. It's 37th show. The actress that played Fiona. 14 years old. She's done 37 of these. So, like, that's cool. But, like, there's also kids in this that it's their first show or their second show. So, like, 37 was the highest number that I saw. But, point is, like, I hope at least some of those kids recognize what a privilege that is. Anyway, I was supposed to be looking at the song list and see if there was anything else I really wanted to focus on. I mean, like I said, that song really stands out to me above the rest. But a lot of these songs are really good. The Dragon song, I was trying to remember. So in the so it's called Forever. In the DVD version I've watched, the dragon was like a big puppet's probably the wrong word, but like it wasn't an actress. It was a construct. And then there were like the dragon dancers kind of sometimes being part of it, but sometimes kind of just their own entity. And so in this one, the dragon was just played by another actress, but they also had the dragon dancers and stuff. So I don't actually remember this song from the DVD version. And I was trying to figure out if, like, that's not in that version because maybe in the non-junior version, they don't give the dragon a song if it's not being played by an actual actress. And so maybe that's a difference between that and the junior version. But I feel like the dragon dancers were singing, so it's probably just that they had the song. And that just didn't stick out to me when I watched the DVD version. This one, I thought the interaction between the dragon and donkey was pretty entertaining. So that stuck out to me. If it's in the professional version, this one stuck out to me more. What's Up Duloc was pretty good. All the little Duloc dancers, they had little wigs so that they all looked the same. That's pretty good. I Think I Got You Beat where Shrek and Fiona are like trauma dumping on each other. I mean, I feel like this show isn't super well known, so I don't want to spend too much time going over the songs, but like I think it's a good, a lot of times, maybe not a lot of times, but I feel like a lot of times if there's a non-musical movie and then they make a stage musical based on a movie that's not a musical, like sometimes the songs can just feel kind of like, what are we doing here, but like most of these songs fit pretty well, and there's kind of a good variety of style. It's not every song doesn't sound the same as every other song. The Freak Flag song is a good kind of power anthem kind of song. I keep having a thought that keeps coming in and then going away, and I can't catch it. But I wish I could. I don't know. It's gone. I'll think of it as soon as I'm done. As soon as I stop the video, I'll think of it. But to sum up, because I've been rambling a lot, the show was good. And I know what I was going to say. The Shrek musical was one of the shows that was being played at one of the theaters that's closest to me towards the end of last year, before I started this project officially, but when my brain was kind of getting the wheels spinning, and I didn't go to that. Partly, I think scheduling and availability was an issue, but I definitely know that part of it was that theater is a dinner theater, and so the seating is at tables, and the tickets are much more expensive. And aside from the added cost, I'm a very picky eater, so dinner theater, the concept is cool to me, but if it's here's what we're serving and everybody's eating the same thing, I don't really want to spend extra money to get food that I'm not going to eat. So I didn't end up going to that one, and I kind of felt like I had missed it. So I'm very glad that I got to see, I had another chance to see this show. So, very happy with the performance. Like I said, I was literally moved to tears at one point and then got legitimate goosebumps at another point. But to me, it's just satisfying that this whole rigmarole is now done and buttoned, and this will be my longest show video ever. But I think looking back, this is going to be, I'm going to remember this as a funny story. Also, because I take notes on when shows start and stop. If it hadn't been postponed, and I did get to see it last Saturday, as was my plan, this show didn't get out until it was like 1:46 or 1:49, something like that. So even with the Marquee Youth Stage starting all of their shows late, I would not have made it to that 1:30 show on time. So while I was upset and frustrated on the day in the moment, perhaps it was a blessing in disguise that I had another opportunity to see this show. But also, this theater also started like 8 minutes after 12. I think the announcement was 12:08, and then the play started at 12:09. So I don't know if it's just that area or if it's just kids theaters, but a lot of waiting past that official start time until things actually get started. Also, I noticed, as I've mentioned in earlier clips of this video, when I was trying to get tickets to this, both times were sold out for last Saturday before it was moved to this Saturday. But there were several empty chairs there. So I don't know how much of that was just people not being able to come back on this weekend, or how many people might have canceled regardless, or what. But I did take note that there were several empty seats. There were a couple people that were moving around to try to get better seats. So while I appreciate all the communication that I got from the Fox Youth Stage, and the situation has been resolved, I might suggest that in the future, if things get postponed or delayed, don't just send out an email to the people that have already bought tickets. Put it on your social media pages so that people that might slip through the cracks, like me, have an opportunity to see it for themselves. Or maybe people that don't check their email very often, but maybe they're on social media more, they could see it. Or if you have a situation like it seems like what happened here, where a lot of people had to cancel, you put it on your social media and be like, hey, we got a bunch more tickets that became available. There might be people that wanted to get in to see the show, saw that tickets were sold out, and then just wrote it off as a loss. Whereas if you had put up a post that was like, oh, hey, this is getting postponed, then they might be like, oh, maybe some tickets will become available. And then if you did another post that was like, hey, we got a bunch more tickets available, like that. I see other theaters doing things like that, and it's kind of strange to me that yours didn't. So, like I said, I'm very satisfied with my experience, but just a little suggestion for the future. But with that, I guess I can't move now because there's a cat on my lap. But I'm gonna end this video and try to put all the clips in the right order for you. If I mess up, I apologize. I don't like editing, but I'll do my best. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.